One-time head of state and two-time Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari has been laid to rest in his hometown of Daura, Katsina State. His remains were laid to rest amid tears and tributes from family members, close associates, and dignitaries from across the nation and beyond. Blessing Obe has details.
The body of former President Muhammadu Buhari arrived at the Umaru Musa Yar'Adua Airport in Katsina as thousands gathered to receive his remains. The elder statesman died on Sunday, July 13, in a London hospital where he had been receiving medical treatment. President Bola Tinubu, accompanied by presidential delegation and other government officers, arrived at the airport to pay their respects. The body, draped in a Nigerian flag, was received from the aircraft and carefully placed into an ambulance for the final journey to Daura. Surrounded by top military officers and government officials, a formal procession was held in honor of the late leader. Hours later, his remains arrived in Daura, where mourners gathered for Islamic funeral rites and final farewell. At the burial ground within his residence, President Tinubu joined family members and dignitaries at the gravesite, the exact spot where the former president often sat. "21 gunfire salute was done, a mark of honor for the late president and commander-in-chief. With prayers said, the body was lowered gently into the grave, covered with soil and committed to Mother Earth, bringing to an end the life and legacy of Muhammadu Buhari. Buhari served as Nigerian's military ruler from 1983 to 1985 and later as a democratically elected president from 2015 to 2023. Blessing Obe, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, the Catholic Archbishop of Lagos, Most Reverend Adewale Martins, has described the death of former President Muhammadu Buhari in a London hospital a wake-up call for Nigerian leaders to urgently revamp the nation's early healthcare system. In a condolence message, the Archbishop expressed sorrow over Buhari's passing and used the occasion to highlight the long-standing issue of medical tourism among the country's political elite, which he said reflects poorly on Nigeria's healthcare infrastructure. He noted with concern that Buhari's demise marked the second time in recent history that a sitting or former Nigerian president has died abroad due to medical complications, a situation he described a national shame. The cleric also referenced a public complaint once made by the former First Lady Aisha Buhari about the poor state of the State House Clinic, questioning what that implied for the conditions of regular public hospitals. He concluded by praying for the repose of Buhari's soul and comfort for his family, hoping that his death will serve as a catalyst for positive change in the Nigerian healthcare system. The federal government says over 420 federal roads, bridges and other infrastructure projects have either been completed or significantly advanced under the administration of President Bola Tinubu within the 2 years already spent in office. Chairman of the Senate Committee on Works, Senator Bernarda Mkwigi, made this known in a goodwill message delivered at the opening ceremony of the 33rd Engineering Assembly organized by the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, COREN, in Abuja. He specifically praised Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, describing it a catalyst for ongoing reforms and infrastructural ambition across the country. However, the senator raised concerns over the rise in engineering-related failures, including collapsed buildings and deteriorating road infrastructure, attributing many of the incidents to poor compliance with professional standards. To address the situation, the lawmaker pledged the committee's full support to Koren in strengthening enforcement and compliance measures across the country. Rivers State Administrator Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas, retired, has demanded a credible local government election for Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission. He also charged other newly appointed board members to uphold the highest standards in discipline, competence, integrity, and unwavering dedication in their service to the state. Ibas gave the charge while inaugurating the reconstituted Electoral Commission, Rivers State Civil Service Commission, Rivers State Local Government Service Commission, and the Rivers Primary Healthcare Management Board in Port Harcourt. The administrator disclosed that extensive training programs were underway with a committee set up to overhaul the public service framework for greater efficiency. Ibas assured the boards of sustained government support, including funding for the effective discharge of their mandates, but warned that they would be held accountable for their performance. About 200 lecturers engaged by the Abia State University, Uturu, in 2023 have expressed sadness over the institution's inability to pay their 12-month-old salary arrears owed them. The spokesperson of the lecturers, Chukwuemeka Thompson, appealed to the state governor, Alex Oti, to intervene to settle their indebtedness without delay. He also called on the governor to regularize their appointments in the varsity payroll system. Thompson lamented that all efforts to get to the governor has been impossible, noting that university's management has not been able to help matters either. Reacting, the chairman of the Abia State University Academic Staff Union of University, Chidumba, said he was aware of the predicament of the lecturers, advising that there was the need for them to be fully integrated and paid since they have employment letters and have not been given sack letters. The Trump administration says it has launched an investigation into Brazil's trading practices. According to U.S. Trade Representative Jamison Greer, the investigation will look into alleged attempts by Brazil to penalize U.S. companies involved in digital trade and services for not censoring political speech. The investigation seeks to determine whether they are unreasonable or discriminatory and burden or restrict U.S. commerce. Mr. Greer accused Brazil of disadvantaging American exports by offering low tariffs to other trade partners. Last week, U.S. President Donald Trump urged Brazilian authorities to end their prosecution of the country's former president, Jair Bolsonaro, accusing them of carrying out a witch hunt. And without